Well, hi guys. Today is Saturday the 14th of October. Last time you saw me was yesterday evening. We fished below the weir, caught that chub, but it was all fairly quiet. As I mentioned then, I was going to concentrate on the stretch above the weir and do a bit of bream fishing. So here we are. I'm not fishing tonight. What I've decided to do is for the next couple of evenings, i.e. Saturday evening, Sunday evening, is get plenty of ground bait into this swim behind me. You may be able to recognise it. It's the swim where I bumped all those bream off a few months ago. So I know there's plenty of bream here, or certainly we can attract them here. So that's my plan, is to get plenty of ground bait in the next couple of days, pull them in so that when I come fishing either Monday or Tuesday evening, hopefully they're all here ready to get their heads down and feed. I think I've said previously, there's a few carp up here as well, so you may well latch onto a carp with a bit of luck. There's also some stonking barbel up here, and in the forthcoming months as well, as I mentioned, I'm going to target the roach and try and catch a big roach and perhaps a big stripey as well, and I think probably up here will be the best bet for that too. So that's the plan anyway. What I've done, I've bought a couple of loaves, or 3 loaves actually, of bread, liquidized them, like minced them up in the food processor to dust, mixed in some various bits and pieces of old ground bait I've got kicking about, some of that barbel halibut mix, a bit of krill method mix, all sorts of stuff, chucked it all and get lots of flavours going. I'm also going to put some full meal halibut pellets in, some krill pellets as well, and some maggots in there too. I've also blitzed up some boilies, not to dust but to small particles like boilie crumb effectively, that I'll be kicking about in the freezer, so I'm going to get that in as well. That's all mixed into the ground bait. So what I'll do now is I'll just wet this up a little bit more. I should say actually I've wetted it already. What I did, I like to do this especially when bream fishing, is I buy like a big bag, frozen bag of sweet corn from somewhere like Morrison's, Tesco, somewhere like that. What I want to do is stick that in the blender with some boiling water. And I also put 3 or 4 really huge spoonfuls of treacle in with it as well, black treacle. Blitz that up till it's liquid, literally. You've got a lovely sweet sticky liquid to put in with your ground bait. I've obviously put that in at home. Ground bait's just over here, I'll just grab it. So I've put, as I say, I put that in at home, and I just need to wet this up a little bit more, so I'll go and just wet it and then I'll show you exactly what we've got down here. So as you can see, what we've got here, just fairly standard. It's actually a washing up bowl that I use on top of my bucket. You say the red bits in there, all bits of boilie, or bits of boilie here. Look, they're actually, these are barbel extractor boilies, nice and fishy. I've got some other fishy ones. These are sort of on fish and garlic flavour. There's all sorts of bits in here. I'm also, as I said, going to stick in some 4 mil 6 mil halibuts. These are 6 mils. Stick some of those in. I'm not going to stick too much in here in the way of solid food items. There's some very small old extractor pellets there. I'll stick some krill pellets in as well. But you have to be a little bit careful sticking all this stuff in here, because what you'll find is that the more stuff you put in, the harder it is to keep the balls together as you throw them out. I think we'll be alright with that. There's a lovely krill fishy smell. What I'm also going to do, worth mentioning, is I'm going to get perhaps 40 boilies in, just broken in half. I'll throw them in by hand, but that's the plan as well. Just put some solid food items in there of the sort of stuff that I'm going to fish. I've got some krill, scopex squid, Pacific tunas in there, so I'm going to get those in as well. And those are the baits that I should probably use, certainly start with. We'll use some maggots and stuff as well, but for now that's what we'll use, I think. So I'm going to get this in. Well guys, that's the ground bait in. Class it up to the nudges in it. Right, I'm going to get these boilies in. As I say, I'm probably going to put 30 or 40 in, that's all. Perhaps not even that much, 30 tops. I've got a pot there and I'm putting in half of that. So yeah, probably about 30 I would say. Half in tonight, half in tomorrow night, and then we'll fish either Monday or Tuesday night, as I said. This is a swim, I did mention this previously I think, the only swim last year that I caught a carp, excuse me, in. I had sort of mid double, just sort of 2/3 of the way across. Be nice to repeat that early next week. The weather's set really fair. There's no rain forecast at least for 2 weeks at the moment, so I think we're pretty much wasting our time down the other area below the weir. For the moment, it's you know, I think we've probably fished that one peg too much as well. I think it's probably a bad judgment call on my part, but it's very difficult when you're catching big barbel from somewhere and you only have sort of a couple of 2 or 3 hour sessions a week. It's very difficult to drag yourself away, but you know, I'm going to now, with the winter, looking towards the winter as well, I think we're better off up here. It's deeper water, it's very slow moving up here, especially at the moment. I mean, it's moving at probably a very slow walking pace, that's all. So we've got that in. I'm going to go and get these in, and then we'll get off home and come and do the same again tomorrow. Well, hi guys, as you can hear, it's absolutely blowing a gale. It is Monday night, it's the 16th today. I'm not fishing tonight, I'm baiting again. I'm also not going to do a lot of talking because I'm not sure how much of this you can actually hear. Just to quickly put in the picture, we came down on Saturday evening, baited up. Yesterday I did not get a chance to get down here after a really busy day. It was my daughter's 2nd birthday, the youngest one. Didn't even manage to sneak out for 20 minutes to get down here. Now, I wouldn't have come fishing anyway tonight because this hurricane, or the back end of this hurricane, has turned up this evening. They're forecasting mid 40-mile-an-hour winds, and to be honest, if there's one thing I can't stand, it's the wind. So I wouldn't have come anyway tonight, but tomorrow they're forecasting absolutely dead calm, which again, not brilliant for fishing, but a lot more comfortable for me. Now, I think the bream up here are usually pretty obliging, as I've said previously. So what I'm going to do, same thing again. If I spin you down, you just have a quick look what I'm doing here. I've got this mix of ground bait, pellets, bits of broken boilie in here. As you say, I haven't mixed it up. I've got in here is blitzed up sweet corn with some treacle in it, just to make it really nice and sweet. This is about 50%, 60% bread, just that's been through the liquidizer, and it's got some various proprietary ground baits in here, bits and pieces I've got left over, some krill method mix in here, some barbel halibut mix in here, some MV brown, all sorts of stuff, just to give it some flavour. So what I'm going to do is get this mixed up. There's some 4mm halibuts in here already. You can see I've got some various bits and pieces in my bucket. I'm going to finish off these, which are some old extractor pellets. They can go in. I've got some 6mm halibuts here. We'll put a handful of those in as well. I'm going to just mix this up when it's dry first. And in here, along with a load of boilies, I've got some krill pellets at the bottom, so I'm going to put some of these in as well, some 6mm krills, and hopefully, with a bit of luck, I'll try and throw these boilies in by hand. But I've got a right facer going on at the moment, so I might not be able to throw them hard enough. But we'll see anyway. But as I'm probably going to be fishing tomorrow, I'm not overly fussed if I don't get any big bits of food items in there. I mean, there's broken up boilies in here. In fact, it's probably an idea, isn't it? I'll have a go throwing the boilies in first, and if they don't go in, I'll bust them up and put them in here. But as I said previously, I don't like putting too many big items in here because it stops it clinging together and it breaks up in flight. So it's absolutely blown a gale. Right, I'm going to get this stuff in. As I said, minced up. All that is minced up sweet corn with some water and a bit of treacle in there as well. Give it a bit of extra sweetness. Now this won't be enough to do this. I'll have to get some river water in here as well, but that's not a problem. Again, as you see, I've got washing up bucket full. Sorry, washing up bowl full, should I say? I'm going to bang all this in. Then we'll have had 2 evenings of pre-baiting, 2 evenings apart, if you're with me. Yeah, I'm going to need a bit of extra water in here, so I'm going to go and put that in, and I'm going to see if I can throw these boilies in. Right, that's the ground bait mixed up. I think I should be all right throwing these boilies, to be honest, because it's picked up again, but it's quite sporadic. The wind, it sort of really blows and stops for a minute and then blows again, so I can just pick the right moment and I'll throw them in, I think. Well guys, that's me done. That's 2 evenings, as I said, baited 2 evenings apart. We'll come down here tomorrow. Hopefully this will get the fish to stick around here, or certainly come back tomorrow evening. It's about 6 o'clock now, which is the time I should be fishing tomorrow. I should get down here probably about 5:30, get set up, and I should be fishing hopefully by about 6 o'clock because the sun's gone down already. But that's the plan. Hopefully the weather will be a bit calmer tomorrow. You know, I am as well, as I said, looking forward to this this winter, well, autumn and winter, looking out for some big roach. Are you amazed? I don't know, it's bizarre, isn't it? I had my Angling Times delivered today, and I just had a quick flick through and saw Keith Arthur's page. And can you believe on there he was talking about big roach being the new big perch, and that there's never been a better time for big roach, and talked about a few rivers, and he said there's no reason why the Warwickshire Avon can't produce a big roach as well. So I was quite shocked to read that. It sort of read my mind almost, but it's brilliant because it's exactly what you want to hear, isn't it? So I'm really buoyed by that. That's fantastic. Anyway, it's bream tomorrow night. You know, perhaps I'll put 1 rod on bread and we'll see how we get on. It'll be the helicopter setups up here tomorrow night. There won't be any running rigs. It'll be how we normally fish up here, alarms, bobbins. Anyway, the wind's picking up again. I'm going home to finish video, editing the video from Friday evening. I'll try and get that posted tomorrow. Should I get it finished tonight, which it's nearly there. Not a fantastic session, but well, by the time you see this you'll have seen it already, I'm sure. We did okay anyway. So I will see you, fingers crossed, tomorrow evening here with all the gear. Well, hi guys, it is Wednesday the 18th of October today. I haven't got out fishing yet. Been doing all this pre-baiting, still haven't got out. Tonight I'm not going to be able to get out again. I've just finished work. I've come straight down here because I'm going to do a bit more pre-baiting this evening with hope to get out tomorrow night. So without any further ado, I shall see you in a second down the river. So guys, why haven't I got fishing yet? Really busy week again, I'm afraid. The weather's not really playing ball either. You can probably see behind me it's a little bit misty. As I say, I've come down here straight from work. I did intend on fishing today, but a few things have put pay to that. Firstly, it drizzled actually during the night and a little bit today. It's barely got up to 11 degrees today, so that's going to put some cold water in the river, definitely. So that's, I'm thinking, going to put the fish off. The air temperature's, 11 degrees as well, which that coupled with the fact that it's really damp has put me off a little bit, to be honest with you. I'm no feather weather angler, as you've seen from my videos, not at all. But at least want to stand a decent chance of catching some fish. Obviously, again, if you've seen any of my previous videos, I'm a family man and I only get a certain amount of credits per week to come fishing, and I don't want to burn them up fishing when conditions are a bit that, coupled with the fact that they're forecasting tomorrow to be much warmer and to rain pretty much up until this time, which is about quarter past 5 now. So that's going to get some warm water in the river, certainly not going to cool the river, which is why I'm much more keen to come tomorrow evening. Now, problem with all of this is, what do I do baiting wise? I've been baiting every other day for the last few days. So today's Wednesday, I'm going to bait now. I baited on Monday and I baited, didn't I, on Saturday. So we've had plenty of bait coming in here. I'm going to ease off the solid stuff tonight, just pellets, ground bait, just with a few broken up boilies in. I'm not going to put any big boilies in at all, any whole or squashed ones, because I do intend on fishing tomorrow. Now, if that doesn't work out and it's chucking down with rain, which again, I'm no fair weather angler, however, the camcorder may well not like sitting out in the rain and in the dark. So if it does chuck it down tomorrow, what I shall do is come on Friday instead. We're not going to lose anything anyway. As long as I keep coming down and baiting, the longer I pre-bait for, the better, really. There was a match here, I think last weekend or the weekend before, sorry, not here, but so a mile upstream and a mile downstream. So the further we get away from that as well, the better we're going to do. So I'll stop waffling. It's really starting to get dark, even though it's only about 5:15, but it's proper thick cloud tonight. And it's very damp, which is not going to do this camcorder any good at all. Don't have any sort of high-tech GoPros with waterproof covers or anything. This is a camcorder from like 10 or 15 years ago. So look after it a little bit from the elements. Anyway, I will stop talking and I'll get some ground bait in. Well guys, so job done. As I think I mentioned previously, I'll just reiterate, the snag behind me you can see there, just about there, was the only place I had a carp out from last year. Didn't have any barbel from here last year, although just below this snag here, around about where my finger is there, I had one the season before, almost a double. So there's some nice fish here. We had stacks of bream bites, didn't we, earlier on in the season here. I bumped loads off one session, I seem to remember. But hopefully we'll manage to keep them on the hook tomorrow night. And to be honest, with this warmer water going in, assuming the forecast is correct, it should be good tomorrow night. It's a sort of weather where I'd expect some carp or barbel to turn up. So that's the thinking anyway. So fingers crossed, and I shall see you down here tomorrow evening when hopefully it's a little bit brighter than this, and we can have a few lumps out. I'll see you tomorrow.